Thank you, Shubhendu and Preeti. Good morning, everyone. Let's now have a look at the top lines in the finance world first. Union Power Minister Piyush Goyal said India can achieve as high as 50% growth in electricity production up to 1.65 trillion units next year. Minister said 1.11 lakh crore rupees would be pumped in for technological upgradation of power infrastructure through various schemes for rural and urban India. CBDT likely to issue a fresh notification related to income declaration scheme, making it clear that information about those who declare their black money under the compliance window, which ends on September 30th, will be kept secret. The NPA limit for MSMEs to be increased to 180 days from 90 days. Minister of State Arjun Ram Meghwal to convene meeting of all the agencies including RBI, CBDT and Excise and discuss the same issue. Exports of gems and jewelry increased by 25.5% to $5.78 billion during the first 2 months of this current fiscal. Gems and jewelry contribute to about 14% to the country's overall exports. Well, those are the top lines. And moving on, India and Mozambique on Thursday signed an agreement where New Delhi will buy pulses from the Southern African nation. Our correspondent Sneha Sur spoke to MTC chairman Ved Prakash, who told about the modalities of the import of pulses from Mozambique.
As we all know that we have shortfall of pulses, and pulses actually happen to be the staple food, and facilitating this import is MMTC, and we have with us Chairman MMTC, Mr. Ved Prakash. Mr. Ved Prakash, this is going to be very, very effective because people at the grassroots level in both the countries are going to be benefited. How is it going to happen and take place? What is the target? What is the timeline?
Yes, it will be a win-win for the people of both the countries. Indian people will get the pulses for which there are shortfalls and the prices do increase, seasonal prices, and the production in India is limited. These are the countries who produce pulses, but the good thing is they do not consume, particularly the pigeon peas, that's arhar dal, and whatever they produce, their farmers produce, that is exported. So now India government has encouraging that they should produce more so that it can be exported to India. We can have the pulses at a better prices, number one. Number two, the farmers here, they feel that if they produce and if the quantity is not bought, then what will happen? So we have assured them that whatever is the quantities surplus left with them, that we will be ready to buy that quantity at a mutually agreed price. So this is the basic crux, that the farmers will be able to produce here more, they will have more income, and at the same time India will have more pulses. So this is a win-win situation for both.
Thank you, Mr. Ved Prakash. As Mr. Ved Prakash has said, that it's a win-win situation and people at the grassroots level in both the countries will be able to be benefited. With cameraman D. Thangaraj, this is Sneha Shishur reporting for DD News from Maputo, Mozambique.
Well, it's an interesting development. In fact, government, we all know, is taking steps to control the prices of pulses by controlling the hoarders, in fact, distributing the pulses in Delhi through mobile marketing system. And this is an interesting development to import pulses from Mozambique, and this will certainly be an interesting development because government is trying to control the prices, and this will help in controlling the prices in a greater level. Well, moving on to the markets, the global markets, to begin with the US markets. The US stocks have in fact closed mixed Thursday, that is yesterday, as sharp declines in the oil prices weighed on US markets. Investors are also looking ahead to the highly anticipated jobs report set to be released today. So that is what we can see, some sort of a mixed performance there in the US markets. Moving on to the European markets, the European stock markets in fact rallied yesterday after some sort of solid US economic data and growing expectations that the Federal Reserve may hold off from raising the interest rates this year in the light of Britain's decision to vote to leave the European Union. So that is the basic reason the investors were pretty much confident, and European markets have fared really well in the previous trading session. Asian shares were mixed in the early trade today as investors brace up for the US jobs data to see if the world's #1 economy is resilient enough to weather the fallout from the Brexit vote. So Nikkei is slightly up there, but Hang Seng is down by 106 points. Shanghai Composite and SGX Nifty showing some sort of mixed trends there. So even Indian markets are expected to take this sort of mixed, subdued trends, we can say. And moving on to the Indian markets, the Sensex and Nifty in fact closed a little changed on Thursday, as markets took a breather after recent gains, but worries over global economic growth still continue to weigh on the investor sentiment. Though Sensex is up by 35 points and NSE Nifty is up by 2 points, but still the concerns are there regarding the global economy. And then the jobs data that comes in from the United States, what impact will it have is an important thing, because we generally take the cues from the US economy. Any economic data that comes from the United States will certainly have an impact across the globe, and we'll have to see how the data would be impacting. As of now, there's some sort of mixed trends in the Asian markets are continuing. We are set to take those cues, but we'll have to see how our markets will be faring in the furthermore in the day of the trading session. Well, that's all in the finance world.